Hey guys, welcome to Techno News episode 16. Remember to hit the thumbs up and leave a comment, even an emote gains engagement, so anything in there would be appreciated. Remember to sub to the channel if you haven't already done so. I'm grateful to everybody who already has. I'm getting close to 250, so I'd like to hit that landmark if possible. Ring the bell for alerts for further content, and remember to catch me on my socials and kick.com live from around 10 o'clock UK time, all at Technofish Live. Right, so we'll get straight into it. Kick's just announced its first class program, which is the incentive where streamers are going to get paid an hourly rate by way of, if you want to call it, employment by the platform. Not sure of the exact elements that make up the criteria, but it's rumoured that the viewer figures, engagement in chat, and a lot of other factors will be used to work out how much that person's rate's actually going to be. It'll be interesting to see how this pans out over the next couple of months. They're still keeping the cards close to the chest. Even the guys that have sort of been accepted don't really seem to know what the criteria are going to be. They put a tweet out recently announcing the first 33 names. Most of them are all pretty much verified partners on the platform already, but it is said that the viewer figures range from anywhere between 10 and 1600. So again, interesting to see how they picked who and whatever. They cover a range of topics as well, so it's not just gaming, there's just chatting, music. I'm sure there's a guy in there that does tattoos on stream and various other sort of media. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see how that goes and where it heads from there. As I said, they've announced the first 33. I'm sure there'll be a lot more coming soon, but we'll be keeping our eyes on that to see how that goes. Following on with more streaming news and a bit of an update from last week's. Obviously, I don't know if you're aware, but I mentioned Kai Cenat. He's actually going to be facing multiple charges following on from the riot he incited in New York following his PS5 giveaway appearance. He showed on stream in the last couple of days saying he has to chill for a little bit from social media due to his court dates. Some of the charges he's been hit with could actually carry jail time, so we'll see what happens with that. And similarly, another update from Mr. Beast and his burger company. Apparently they're counter-suing him now for 100 million. The company behind it, the Virtual Dining Concepts, who he employed to fulfill the orders, essentially, in people's ghost kitchens and things. It's all a bit of a queer on this, to be honest. Obviously, there's big numbers being thrown around because of who he is, I think, but we'll see what happens. He was suing them for damages to his brand. Obviously, they were selling mediocre product and things, and he wasn't too happy about it, but they're counter-suing him, saying he was a bully and he was trying to expand a lot quicker than they were expecting, trying to push things out during the pandemic and things. Obviously, trying to cash in. When people couldn't go out, he was trying to get the deliveries and things. So yeah, it's all a bit of a strange situation there, but I'll keep an eye on it and let you know if there's any further updates on that. But it just seems to be a to and fro at the minute. He says, she said, sort of thing. So it's all a bit peculiar. Moving on to gaming news, it's come to my attention that Dark and Darker is back again. Obviously, it got took down from Steam during the ongoing legal battle. The developers used to work for another company, basically, and they were all working on a project that got shelved, and it's claimed that these guys from Nexon set up their own studio, started working on this game, but they used a lot of the assets from the scrapped project, and there's a big, again, to and fro about that is what's going on. In the meantime, it got took down from Steam and various other platforms, so you weren't able to buy the game because of all that. They did do some play testing via releasing the files on torrents and things like that recently. The game's now gone into early access, so therefore you have to pay to play now. It's not a free product anymore. You can get the game directly from the devs or on the Chaff launcher. I've never heard of that one, but apparently it's another game launcher, a bit like the Epic Store and things like that. There's still a lot going on behind the scenes, so I'm not sure where they stand with regards to actually releasing this, but it'll be interesting to see what comes of that in the foreseeable. And another game that's sort of had a few issues is WrestleQuest. Basically, it looks like an old school RPG based around like the 80s, 90s wrestling. It's got the Macho Man and Legion of Doom and all them sort of characters in it. It's like an RPG type game based around that era of wrestling. It looks good fun, but apparently there was an issue on launch day. They found out that a lot of the save files were getting corrupted and it was losing people's games, so they've pulled it in the meantime on launch day to rectify that, and then they'll put it back up for sale once it's all sorted. Could be quite interesting. It looks fun, but it's basically just an RPG in disguise. But yeah, I can see it doing well. Following on from that, yeah, he is closing the servers down on some of the older multiplayer parts of games, so the multiplayer function is no longer going to be active. The C should still be able to access the single player campaign stuff on the games, but it's just a matter of time before they sort of sunset a lot of the games and see what happens. It'll be interesting to see what happens because games still have a user base. It'll be nice to see if they can give them the files or whatever and host their own servers to try and keep them games alive. But it's things like Crisis 3, Dead Space 2, Mirror's Edge were mentioned. I don't think there was much of a following for those games really, other than Dead Space 2, but I think even then, if memory serves, the multiplayer wasn't up to scratch anyhow, so I don't think it's going to be a big loss, but we'll see what happens with that down the line, see if there's any more games announced and see if there's any further issues. Following on to the other big developers, Activision and Blizzard, they've made a bit of a faux pas, really. There's a lot of hoo-ha around this. They decided for whatever reason it would be a good idea to do a YouTube video, not a live stream, an actual video where they've edited it and created this content, where they've got a couple of devs to play Diablo 4. It's become a bit of a joke, to be honest. I don't know who the devs were or what part of the game they worked on, but they didn't have a clue how to play the game at all. You think if they were going to do something like this, they would get level designers or gameplay mechanic designers or someone like that to actually get involved and show what the game's capable of. But these guys, I don't know if they were just artists or worked in music or what, I don't know, but whatever part they played, they didn't have an idea how to play the game at all, and it just become a bit of a joke, leading to an absolute torrent of abuse in the comments and an overall like percentage of around 2% on the video. So it sort of bombed completely. There was a lot of hate because they were female as well, which don't call as well, but if they'd have actually got somebody who knew what they were doing within the game and actually playing the game properly, I couldn't see it being too much of an issue. But these guys, I think they spent more time playing with the emote whale than actually learning the actual mechanics of the games. But that's up there to watch now. It's called Diablo 4 Adventure with a Dev, and yeah, it's become a bit of a comedy thing now, unfortunately. Sticking with Activision Blizzard, Call of Duty, there's been a bit of a release saying a lot of the content from Modern Warfare 2, the new Modern Warfare 2, is going to carry forward into Modern Warfare 3, so it makes you wonder how much of a new game Modern Warfare 3 is going to be. It's going to include a lot of the gun skins, so that sort of makes you think it's going to be exactly the same guns in this game as was in the last one. Same with the vehicles and even the operators. It's saying a lot of the operators will carry forward as well. What's going to be new in this game, I don't know. How they're going to change things, I don't know. I mean, whether it's just the cosmetics or what, I don't know, but they did say there's a lot of stuff going to be able to carry over between the two games, so it'll be interesting to see how that works. A lot of people called for this when they did Modern Warfare 1 to 2, to be honest, but they said they couldn't do it for whatever reason, but they've decided they're able to do it this time. So it'll be interesting to see what's different in Modern Warfare 3 when it actually releases. Doesn't sound like it's going to be a lot, to be honest. Well, there we go. Right, so that's about it for the news this week. It's bit of a shorter one this week. There hasn't been as much going on that I've noticed. If I've missed anything, please let me know in the comments and I'll try and cover it in the next one. As I said, let me know what you think of any of these stories down below in the comments. It'd be very much appreciated. Sub to the channel, give the video a like, ring the bell, and I'll catch you live on Kick from around 10 o'clock tonight. Have a good one. Ciao for now.